Syed.
Okay, so take us back to, what's your title?
I'm Sergeant.
With Evanston Police Department. Okay,
Correct.
so take us back yesterday around 4 o'clock.
Correct.
Where were we? What happened?
So yesterday about 4 o'clock, we received a call about an attempt kidnapping. We responded to the scene and spoke with the victim. The victim advised that approximately 20 minutes earlier, she was walking southbound on Fowler Avenue when she was approached by a gray four-door newer sedan. Two male subjects exited the vehicle, grabbed her, picked her up. At that point, she fought them off and ran southbound in the 1200 block of Fowler to her workplace in the 2400 block of Maine, where she reported the incident to the police.
She was able to get back to work.
She was.
Can you talk a little bit about her demeanor? How was she feeling? Do you know anything about her persona once she reported all this happening?
So she's an 18-year-old female, so she was understandably shaken up. She contacted the police, contacted her mother. When we responded, she was very upset, as she should be. We were able to get information out right away. There were units that searched, canvassed the area. Investigators arrived. Everything was done right away.
And in terms of this investigation,
I think we're getting a little bit of your radio.
My radio?
Yeah.
You want me to turn it off? Yep.
Thank you. For
Sure.
that. In terms of the investigation, what can you share with us progress-wise? Have you guys been able to collect any surveillance video or images of this vehicle or any of the possible offenders?
Sure. So we did get an initial description of two offenders, but they were very general, males wearing black ski masks. That was all she was able to provide yesterday. Interviews are still ongoing with the victim. At this point, the investigators are still investigating. I do believe that there is surveillance footage available. That footage is being reviewed from area cameras to determine whether or not the offender's vehicle can be identified.
Is there a chance that that captured the incident?
There is a chance. So there are several privately owned cameras in the area, Ring doorbell, business cameras, and so all of that footage was identified, and it is being pulled to determine if there's anything useful.
Is there any indication this young woman knew these people, or was this random?
At this point, we don't have any information on that. It doesn't appear so at this point.
It doesn't appear that she knew them.
Correct.
Okay, and were they armed? Did they present any weapons?
There was no mention made of a weapon.
Okay. And then do you know, were there you said two people got out
Correct.
of the car. Were there others in the car?
There was no information provided on whether there were others. She was very shaken up, so initial information was very sparse.
Hold on 1 second.
The perfect area.
Okay.
So there was limited information that she could provide us at that time due to how shaken up she was, but she only told us about two offenders.
Should residents be looking for this car? If they see a car of this description, do you know, were they Illinois license plates? Do we have any other?
Unfortunately, we don't have any specific information about the vehicle other than it was a gray four-door newer sedan. If anyone, as usual, in the community sees any vehicles or anyone acting suspiciously, they're always encouraged to call the police department. If you have any information about this particular incident, you think you might have information, please call the Evanston Police Detective Bureau. You can always text us at the Evanston text-a-tip number as well.
Okay, Sergeant, how do you feel personally knowing that this happened in the community that you police?
So it actually happens so rarely that it's really surprising to see something like that happen here. In my many years of doing this is one of maybe a handful of attempted abductions that I've seen here. So it is obviously something that was, I can only imagine, very frightening for her. it is something that is probably frightening for the community. So we're doing our best to get it wrapped up as soon as we can.
Let's talk to the public now. What do you want them to be aware of? What do you want them to do? In this case, this girl fought back. She was able to get away.
Correct.
And we don't know if they had any weapons or anything like that. But what do you advise the public to do? Do you advise them to comply? Do you advise them to fight back like she did?
I would say this. So, just give us a second here. It's okay.
No,
Yeah. I would say that in situations like this, if you feel that you're going to be abducted, especially in a public place, to make as much noise as possible and fight back, bring attention, so decrease the likelihood that there's going to be witnesses, and people are going to call the police to come assist you. Something along those lines.
Okay, well, I'll ask you that question again. What would you advise the public to do, knowing that these offenders are still out there? They may or may not strike again, but if somebody is in a situation like this, what would you advise that they do?
So we would advise, obviously, if you're in a situation where you feel like you might be abducted and taken to another place, to fight for your safety, make noise, try to get away, attract attention to yourself. Those are the types of things where hopefully someone would feel that they should call the police, maybe come to assist you, things of that nature.
Anything else that you want to add?
No?
Just one more. Can you clarify? You said she went back to work. Did she just leave work?
No, so
Okay.
actually she was coming from somewhere else en route to work. So she was traveling southbound in the 1200 block of Fowler when she was attacked. And at that point, when she broke free, she ran to work. So,
Got it.
Okay.
All right, thank
Thank
so
you.
much.
all right,
very
thank you
much.
guys.
Thank you very much.
She worked at.
No.
Yeah.
We're trying to